Okay. Sounds like we're online.
In sync?
On the line.
Online. Yeah. So this one, guys, is this.
Set the scene.
Yeah, I'm trying to set the scene, but at the same time, I kind of want to do a prelude into we have done backcountry hunting for quite a while now. All of us at this table, whatever we want to call it, at the coolers here, and it's amazing, honestly, to me, looking back at it, that there hasn't been more injuries and bad things that have happened since then. It's pretty crazy that we've actually been healthy, and there's so many things. I mean, just
Broadheads, knives.
Oh man, there's so much stuff that could go wrong, and we've been super blessed until you. Thanks a lot, Dirk.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Throws him under the bus.
I try my best.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But
So Trent had a tag, right? Was it
Steve and Trent.
Yeah,
we both did.
I had one.
You had
Dirk.
a tag.
and
Many
Dirk had a
tags.
tag. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
we're at day what? 4. How many days are you
4.
guys in?
4.
4 days in.
and it was tough. It was really tough hunting. We went into some zones that we've seen bulls in the past. This was one of those situations where we're going back and we have these preconceived notions, right? We're like, okay, and this is exactly where it was. I've been in there before. Steve's been in there before. It was stupid, crazy bulls bugling everywhere. We got back in there. It wasn't that.
Ghost town.
Yeah, it was not that.
Not the first time that's happened.
Correct. Yeah. So we're hiking all the way in and then turning around and hiking all the way back out miles. And this was cool because it had a trail. So, but the trail, obviously, it crosses the creek, what?
7 times?
Multiple times, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite a few.
Yeah. So you're crossing the creek and you're trying to keep your feet dry because, the next day you have to put your boots back on and we're going back into a different area. And anyway, so we're coming out of this area at this point, and it's kind of a lackadaisical. We know we're not going to get on elk right now. We're in the bottom of a creek. We're just trying to get out. That's all we're trying to do.
How close are you to being out?
2 miles?
I think it's closer.
Mile?
Yeah, probably a mile.
Yeah, maybe even a mile from a main road to where we can get in the pickup and go to a different destination. And you got to understand that it's just like, okay, we're all tired, but at the same time, it's like, let's just get out of here. Let's go up somewhere else. Because the ultimate goal is obviously finding elk, or obviously. So, and you just get a little complacent and roll the film, I guess. It's all right. Continue hiking. It's a tough deal. Okay, so update. We're coming out on this creek crossing here. Dirk took a spill pretty hard on this slick rock right here.
Still.
On this shoulder right here.
That's a tag.
Not a doctor.
It is.
Next level.
Next level.
I got a little bit.
On you.
Tell him about the beard.
Gosh, look at those pecs. For crying out loud.
A majestic beast, all right?
That guy works out.
Probably at least.
Guaranteed.
No, just leave your stuff. I'll have Steve come back and grab that. No, you don't want to freaking.
Steve,
ruin it.
you're the
I'll have
workhorse.
Steve come back and get
Steve will come back and get it.
Sorry, Steve. That's my bad.
Which was crazy, though. I slipped on the exact same rock.
So just an update.
right before.
Right before. The exact same rock
Well, I
slipped.
think what you're looking at too is just like we had no idea of the extent of what was going on.
Yeah,
And
you
if you
guys-
want to look at it like in what happened afterwards, and you having to shoot with a mouth tab for a whole season, it was crazy. But
Yeah. The crazy part is, up until that spot, I'd just been wading through the water because I'm like, these rocks are slick. I've got Gore-Tex in my boots.
Yep.
And it wasn't deep, but we got in that mode where we're trucking along.
just
Yeah.
moving
And
out.
I'm right
moving
behind
out.
Trent. Trent did the hopscotch across on the rocks, and it just like,
I appreciate that.
I didn't even think twice. I just like did the same thing and hit that last rock and bam.
When I watched you, I mean, I can see it through my head right now. Your foot hit that rock, slipped out, and your shoulder was the first thing to come down on the ground.
So
And
you didn't have your hand down.
No. His shoulder hit
So
first.
the shoulder hit, and then it was just.
Oh yeah.
What's the pain level right here, like at this point in time?
It's not that bad. It's just numb. It's just tingly and numb. I can't raise my arm. I can't do any of this. I can move my fingers. That's about it. It's just like tingly.
Then it starts to burn.
Yeah.
So you're kind of holding up.
I'm holding it because I can feel it like just kind of jostling around inside the joint. So I'm kind of just holding it so it doesn't do that because it kind of bothers them.
Probably it looks like it's out of socket. Is what it looks
We kind of thought I might have dislocated.
That's
it.
what I
Just by the
thought.
way-
That's what I thought.
And the way it felt, I could feel it like not having any support in there. I'm like, man, this thing might be dislocated. And the doctor, he did an X-ray, but you can't really tell a lot with an X-ray.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I might have partially dislocated it, and then it kind of went back
Things can
in.
happen fast.
So
They didn't have MRI.
no, this is like small town America.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was. It took us like 4 chances just to get the X-rays.
Yeah, he didn't even know how to run the X-ray machine.
I'm winding it up.
And it was
The biggest thing about it is Dirk is over here going like that. He's like, I'm a big fan. Watch all the stuff you guys do. And I'm like, yeah, but my buddy's over there. He's kind of hurting right now.
do
He's
a
just
good
like,
job?
he goes, no, I've seen everything that you guys do. Yeah, that's cool, but he's hurting
wrong?
he's hurting pretty bad.
their clinic was in a double wide trailer.
Oh,
It
a
was,
double
yeah,
wide-
it
Literally,
was.
a double wide
It was a
trailer.
double wide trailer. Yeah,
It was like a very small.
it was tough. It was tough. So this is where I knew, honestly, that Dirk could not like do his own shoes. He couldn't do anything. At this point, this is where I
Just the
knew.
morale in your look right there.
Yes.
It's like night
know
and
you're
day
in trouble.
difference.
Right after
Yeah.
something happens, and I've been through a lot of these stages, like in cutting, when I cut timber and stuff like that, because we go through a lot of injuries. You can tell right off the bat, it's like, oh man, I'm hurt, but I'm okay. And everything.
Adrenaline and-
then adrenaline kind of wears off, and then it's like, oh, this is serious. And it was getting serious at this point.
I don't think we're certified for that.
And Steve's just laughing it off.
I don't know what else are you gonna do.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Way to be a support, Steve.
I'm trying my best.
Steve goes, looks like I'm a shooter.
I'm one up on him there. I got him.
Oh yeah, we can laugh about that now.
But which was crazy, I slipped in the exact same spot, and I actually put my hand down, and that's what.
Oh, you did? You
Yes,
caught
I did.
yourself in your hand?
Yep, and that's would have been the difference.
We're taking his boots off now.
Oh, I was
yeah,
trying to
he was-
run a camera as well as I could the whole way, like kind of documenting, because you never know, and that's the whole thing, like with a media company and doing that side of things is like you never want to like portray somebody like, oh wow, look at him, but at the same time you want to document what's going on.
Yeah.
And this was one of those times that you just don't see it very often.
kind of felt spoiled. You guys putting my shoes on and stuff.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
so uncomfortable. It's like,
I will say though, when those boots came off, it was horrific. It was
Yeah.
like I'm not breathing right now. It was,
like 1,000
it was
corpses.
horrible. It was
Was
1,000
it rough?
corpses. It was rough.
yeah.
A
But
lot of quick
we got
crossing.
Yeah. 4 days of sweaty, nasty.
That's a true friend.
Yeah.
But
the best.
So
this was horrible. This was
Yeah,
It
this was
sucked.
bad.
So I think the plan, talk to Troy.
My beard looked nice though, didn't
Yeah.
it?
Man, that is
Fantastic.
Yeah.
you're really bronzy.
good,
Midlife
good
crisis.
shade
Really
to it.
bronzy.
Yeah.
You're really bronzy.
Midlife crisis. You gotta get rid of that gray.
The funny thing is, you read the comments, and when this aired, and people are like, "Is Dirk going through a midlife crisis?" I'm like, "Did you watch the first
watch
part?"
the first episode?
No.
No,
We'll get that in another story time.
it was good.
Took it off and washed it in the creek and put it back on.
Trent told him not to put it back on, but he did anyway. Because they're going to cut it off of you.
Not good. Not good. Because by the time we started riding back to town, it was starting to get sore at that point. And then once we went to town,
Yeah.
and he didn't prescribe a bunch of heavy duty meds. I think some.
No, he didn't.
He gave me some super Tylenol or something.
Yeah.
And we get back to camp that night, and I'm like, okay.
Miserable.
At this point, we're all thinking, well, it'll probably be fine. Doctor's like, yeah, just take it easy for a couple days. You'll probably be all right. I laid down in the back of the pickup on my air mattress, and
Did not see.
I could not get comfortable. Like I'd lay flat on my back, it hurt. Lay on the side, it would hurt. It just burned and hurt. I finally had to get up and sit in the front of the pickup, just sit upright, and I found a little relief. And I'm like, there's no way I can sleep on the ground up on the hill chasing elk.
Backcountry.
Yeah, and then maybe take a slip and like grab myself, and then so it was time to go home.
Yeah. We woke up the next day and Dirk was in his pickup. I'm like, That doesn't look good.
Not good.
Doesn't look good.
Yeah, I remember you texted and said that he got hurt.
Yeah.
Well, the worst part about it is this is day 4 of season.
Of
You've
September.
got- yeah, and you've
Yeah,
got
big
another
plans.
6 days here. You're going to New Mexico after that. You're
Yeah.
in North Idaho.
Yeah.
And so you guys go to the doctor, get the diagnosis. Kind of question mark, right?
Yeah, kind of a question mark. And we're like,
It
well,
wasn't kind of.
Maybe.
He went home.
yeah.
He went
Yeah, he
back.
gave you
home.
a little glimmer of hope,
He went back to Orfino.
and then the next day it was like, no.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
But along there, I'm like, you know what? It'll probably, maybe it just dislocated partially. Things are going to calm down. It'll be fine. And then my wife and I went downtown, and I got out of the car, and we went and did some stuff. And I come back, and the curb, right off the curb of the street, they had had a machine there and kind of dug out part of it. So I didn't expect it. There's a little bit of extra ledge there. When I stepped down to get in the car, I rolled my ankle on that ledge, and unthinkingly, what's your instinct? I put my arm out, and whatever was kind of borderline okay, it made it
Not good.
horrible. And I literally sat there tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh my God, it hurts so freaking bad, way worse than when I injured it. And I kind of crawled into the car. I'm just like, that wasn't good. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a huge setback.
Finished it off.
And that kind of finished it off of any glimmer of being able to draw a bow back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are asking, how's Dirk's shoulder? And I know you kind of went through a mental battle, right? Because you're
Oh, yeah.
bummed out. I had all these things planned out, and now I can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and my job, it revolves around elk hunting, right?
Yeah.
And my livelihood and my, not necessarily livelihood, but my
Identity?
Your
my
spirit,
my,
right.
my spirit and my internals revolve around elk hunting, and that's what I live for. That's my reason, right? And now that's been taken away, so I go home and it's just, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty deep depression, really. And my wife said after 4 days, she'd go to work, come home. When she'd leave, I'd be in my underwear sitting on the couch. When she'd get home, I was still in my underwear on the couch.
But you had that great beard.
I had that
You
beautiful
had that beard.
black beard, almost as good as Nick Schmidt's, right?
It had to help. It had to help.
It did. It gave me
helped.
power. It gave me power. But after 4 days of that, she's like, "Are you just gonna sit there and have a pity party?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. Well, all the time I had all these thoughts going through my head, thinking, well, there's mouth tabs, and I kind of knew about that stuff. So she's like, you need to get off the couch and do something. I'm like, all right. So I contacted my local pro shop, and my buddy Justin there, and he said, yeah, if you want to shoot a mouth tab, figure it out. Watch some YouTube videos or gather all the information you can, bring it down, and we'll get you set up. So I thought, well, I don't know if I'm even able to hunt because I'm afraid of falling again and re-injuring. And okay, I'm gonna go down, get my bow set up,
Just start shooting.
and then just see what happens.
Yeah.
And went down there, got it set up, and within a couple shots, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this.
I can do this.
This is not that hard. So 5 days later, after that initial setting my bow up, I was ready to go. And then I went elk hunting in North Idaho. So.
We'll play that. Let's just play that a little bit. Can we just steal that from you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just play what he actually ended up doing after this. And I think that just kind of poses into a lot of stuff as far as just overcoming adversity, right? We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time as far as, hey, if you have some kind of a hang up, if you can't, whatever it may be, I can't mouth call, I can't bugle, I can't do this, there's so many different things that you can set up in your mind that it just can't happen. Dirk hurt his shoulder in the middle of season. It wasn't like you had a chance to set up for it.
Right.
You did it right in the middle of season, and you said, okay, now what do I do to actually overcome this and actually be successful as I want to be? And you put a mouth tab on, and you shot
Pretty nice bull.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
What was even crazier
Yeah.
is when you passed up a bull. I'm like,
You're an idiot.
Yeah. Trent would have probably killed me.
that was a
for
black horn.
You painted my face. I can't say much, but you're an idiot.
You know, but all I could think of, like, once I kind of figured out what I was going to do, it's like, I felt like, man, you're a wimp, because I look at there's a lot of people out there who overcome way bigger obstacles. There's one of my guys on Instagram I follow, Try No Feet, Sydney. He has no leg. He from the knees down, he don't have legs. And he does incredible stuff. He does marathons. He goes elk hunting. He does Ironman.
And if you sit down and talk with him, inspirational. Dude.
He's so inspirational.
Nothing but positive.
Yes.
And you look at someone like that, and I have it's a minor injury in comparison to something like that. It's like, I'm a fool if I want to sit here another day and sit and wallow in my self-pity. So there's people with real problems out there that are kicking their problems to the curb and then continuing on. So man, it is what it is.
It was an awesome story to hear that you taught yourself how to shoot with a mouth tab and killed a giant.
Next time, maybe just, I don't know, wear some bigger boots and maybe not jump across the creek.
Maybe I won't dye my beard this
Just
time.
wade right through.
Just saying. I'm not
maybe
trying
we
to
do
add
that.
insult to injury, but at the same time, we can prevent that.
Yeah. Well, you know, if look at retrospect, looking back,
Trekking
I don't
poles?
know. I don't know
Maybe,
why
maybe.
I had trekking poles in my pack.
Yeah,
I don't know why I
did.
didn't.
Yeah, we
I don't
all
know
did.
why I didn't trade out the bow to the pack, trekking poles in hand,
Yeah.
and then just double timing it out. We
I
wouldn't
think
be
that
having
comes
this
down to like
conversation.
frustration of like, we didn't see any elk in here. Let's get the hell out of
Yeah.
here and get to another spot.
Yeah.
And we were just almost running out
Yeah,
of there.
we were
Just
trucking out of there
We're
pretty
done.
quick.
We're done with this spot. Let's just go. But at the same time, it's stuff like this that makes you see like, oh wow, one misstep,
Could change
your whole
Change
season is shot. So always take those precautions.
Be careful out there.
Be careful out there. Guys, I hope we broke. We
Good
kicked
words of
this.
wisdom.
We kicked this horse pretty hard. Thank you guys so much for watching this one.
No worries over nickels and dimes or a 9-to-5 grind. I gotta get loose sometimes. In trouble.